So I'm really hoping that for today's episode, we can start with like an electric dance music introduction, EDM. EDM.
Yeah, good one.
EDM.
Thanks for listening. That's a show.
Yeah, this is Wings on Katella. Thanks for listening. It's been great having you.
Yeah.
Thomas, do you get the EDM reference? EDM, electronic dance music. EDM.
I mean, I know what EDM is. Do I listen to it?
Do you know what EDM also stands for?
No.
Edmonton.
Oh.
Welcome to Wings on Katella,
Edmonton
guys. Episode 35, the podcast where we talk about Orange County sports, among the sorts of other things. It is our regular panel of dudes, guys, bros, etc. I'm just going to go from left to right on my screen to my top left. Producer of Wings on Katella, that is Thomas the Train Engine Murray. He will wave at the camera for you so you know who he is. You can find his work on socials at Thomas_L_Murray. You can find his work at the sportingtribune.com as well as all of us. Thomas covers UCLA. Well, he used to cover UCLA, kind of UCLA. He also covers the Angels, among other things. Above him is Jackery Janes. Jackery Janes Goodall. He covers the Ducks, Kings, Angels, etc. for the Sporting Tribune. You can find him at JackJanes_. And to my right, on my screen at least, is Zach Bryan Efron Cavanagh. And Zach is the primary writer for the Sporting Tribune when it comes to Anaheim Ducks. I am Taylor Blake Ward, managing editor at the Sporting Tribune. Guys, we got a lot to unpack. But before we do that, episode 35.
You don't get a nickname? You don't get a nickname?
Yeah, what's your nickname?
Yeah, you're Taylor Ward Blake Ward.
Taylor Ward Blake Ward.
Baltimore Oriole Taylor Ward.
Taylor Blake.
LA
Taylor
Kings
Ward,
forward.
Blake Taylor Ward.
LA Kings Taylor Ward.
There you go. See, I don't need a nickname, buddy. It's just a hot mess over here.
Not good enough to be Taylor Ward, not good enough to be Taylor Swift.
My Halo name, like back when you put a little name for the game Halo, which I know Jack and Thomas are way too young for, but I was called T-Bird.
I didn't play it, but I had friends that played it.
I don't know what Halo is, so
what?
Oh wow!
Oh, boy. Do you not know what it is? That was the biggest video game when we were kids.
Okay.
It was
I was thinking this was gonna be like some sort of internet thing. Yeah, the video game.
On the split screen stuff of that, my name was T-Bird, and they turned it into a genitalia T. So that was really crappy of my friends when I was 7 years old. So we'll go with that. Look, we've already made fun of the city of Edmonton, and we've talked about genitalia. That's the show, right? Episode 35, guys. Favorite 35 in Anaheim sports history. Minus the obvious.
So you're telling me I can't use Wade LeBlanc?
You cannot use Wade LeBlanc.
Tom Askey off the table.
Tom Askey could play. I'll let Tom Askey fly. That one's fun. I have no idea who Tom Askey is. I'm assuming he's a Duck who wore 35.
He was a backup goaltender at some point. Yeah,
I was going to say.
I mean, the ones on the Anaheim side, there's literally three. It's Mikhail Stalenkov, who I remember a lot as a kid. Tom Askey, who was not there a lot, and then of course Jean-Sebastien Giguère.
Jiggy. All right. So who's the other 35? Who's your other 35 on this list?
Give me Casey Kochman. I think I saw him hit like 3 home runs once as a kid in a game. So it was kind of cool.
I'll go Nick Tropiano.
Yeah. Okay. Staying recent. We'll go Chad. Yeah. I'm going to go Chad Wallach. I like
bullpen arm.
Big fan of Chad. Oh, Andrew Lorraine, dude. Andrew Lorraine was a good arm.
Kochman helped the Angels land Trout, so
yep.
It's part of
Zach, you got one before we dive headfirst into this?
Yeah. I'm just scrolling through. I mean, Tommy John.
Yep, it's a good name.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
Good one.
Changed baseball history.
Yeah.
So, all right. So for
the doctor's office.
As you're listening, we're going to talk about the Ducks. They just won their first postseason series in 9 years, as you're probably aware at this point. We're recording the day after. So we don't know who they're playing yet. We don't know if it's Vegas or Utah or if Vegas and Utah have to forfeit and they go straight into the Western Conference Finals. Or we're also going to talk Jackson Lacombe, among other things. We're going to briefly talk about the Angels at the end of the show. So stick around for that. To start today's episode, guys, I really want to read a poem. And this is a poem from a former Anaheim Duck, Not so much a soliloquy, and it's going to take me a minute or two, but I just want to read this poem that was granted to us by a former Duck about a week ago, roughly.
I already know where this is going.
So bear with me. This is a beautiful poem. Beautiful poem. I played for Anaheim for 3 minutes. I'll tell you right now, Ducks fans, you might as well not even watch. You might as well not even watch the expletive games. I'm telling you, against LA, all right, maybe one of these years they'll get us. This series, if the Ducks win this series, I'll never root for the Oilers again. I'll wear Ducks jerseys. I'll have a Ducks hat on the rest of the summer. I'm that confident that they have no chance against the Oilers. Maybe it goes 6 games. I'll have to get 10 different quacks into every episode at random times. And when you call me, I can have them to, very Californian, add the like in there, start quacking at my family. We'll have to think of something. I like Anaheim's future, man. I made a bet against Idiot Inaudible. They'd win a cup before the Devils do. That's how confident I am in their future. But we are not in the future. We are in today. As Tripp said, live for the moment, man. Don't worry about tomorrow. Live for today. And I'm living for Game 1 in Edmonton, where the Oilers will show that the entire league has underestimated them. Round of applause for the great Ryan Whitney. Beautiful.
Future is now, old man.
Beautiful poem. I absolutely love Ryan Whitney. He's just a dude from South Quincy. Biz, just a dude from Southwest Niagara Falls, essentially. Guys, Anaheim Ducks beat the Edmonton Oilers in 6. A few of us had predicted that, actually. A few of us had predicted that exact outcome. Nationally, I think a few people were surprised. Ryan Whitney, maybe in particular. And like I said, I love Ryan Whitney. I love spitting chiclet. You know, it's a fun show. But this was fun. This was fun seeing this Anaheim Ducks team that you got to give credit to Pat Verbeek for what he's built over the years, both when it comes to the on-ice talent and also behind the bench. You got to give Joel and his group a lot of credit too. This team made some waves, and they not only made waves to be a prominent playoff team, but a winning playoff team moving on to the next round. Zach, I know that you've been waiting for this for a long time. You've covered, I mean, we're going to talk about the Angels here coming up. Covering a bad team is not fun. You've covered some bad Ducks hockey teams, man. This had to be really rewarding for you. And just take us through the series a little bit. Maybe not a full breakdown, but just through the series.
Yeah, like you said, fully rewarding. I don't think there was any more exhilarating experience than closing out my Google Flight tabs for Edmonton last night to avoid that $900 bill at midnight, which would have been not fun, and I would be probably in Vancouver on my way to Edmonton at this point. Yeah, from a national perspective, I think there's two things. Like, I don't think anybody expected how banged up the Oilers were actually into the series, and maybe that gave people some overconfidence in the Oilers. But you take a step back and you look at the way the Ducks ended the regular season. You think about what the expectations were even going into the year of, hey, maybe they can fight around and maybe they can make the playoffs. Oh, if they get in, it'll be a good experience. And then especially at the end of the year, it's like, oh boy, they'll be lucky to get in and they'll just take their lump and then they'll move on to next year and they'll build from that. And from game one, despite the Ducks losing game one, it was very evident to me in that first 60 minutes in Edmonton that this Ducks team was not afraid of the Oilers. They were not going to back down at any point, and they could skate with the Oilers. They could play with the Oilers, and by the end of the series, they were beating up the Oilers in game 6. What an impressive debut for so many of these guys. You mentioned Pat Verbeek and the growth of this team. You do so many things to build a core. And you hope that these guys can perform in the big moments. You hope that these guys are playoff caliber. And we've seen it over the years with, whether it's the LA Kings drafting well and having all this talent, and then it sort of reaching a plateau and never getting beyond that. The Ducks even did that in the post-Getzlaf years of, the Hampus Lindholms and Rickard Rakels. We thought great things for those guys, and they got to a point and then the Ducks had to fizzle out again. This team, these guys, this core proved how playoff ready they actually are. Leo Carlsson was one of the best players in this entire series front to back. We will talk about Jackson Lacombe at length of just the coming out party that this series was for him. Cutter Gauthier, Beckett Seneca, these young guys showing exactly what they were drafted for and performing in those big moments, not wiltering under the lights. And in addition to that, we will talk plenty more about Pat Verbeek, but so many of these Verbeek moves, whether it's Ryan Poehling, Tim Washy, Jeff Viel, John Carlson, all these guys show up in different ways throughout the series. Mikael Granlund, that augmented this roster in the proper way to get it to where it is, that it can be a competitive team. And now, as Jack and I talked in my little walk and talk video on socials last night, this isn't just a thing of, wow, they're happy to get some experience. Now all of a sudden you're looking at how they played in the series, you look at the road in front of them, and you start to your mind starts to drift a bit of, what can this team actually do now that they are gaining this experience? And Troy Terry mentioned it in the postgame last night. The experience isn't necessarily just like living it, which I thought sort of is why they lost game one. They were deers in the headlights in the first period, and then they were great the second two periods. They really only had two bad periods in the whole series. One, game five, where Edmonton came out and rolled them because they needed to, and game one, where the Ducks just weren't ready for playoff hockey. But they built themselves into a playoff ready team. They've won this series convincingly. You can say everything you want about the Oilers' injuries and their lack of motivation during the regular season and whatever. The Ducks were the better team in the series, speed-wise, skill-wise, and as Chris Knobloch said last night too, size-wise. They were winning battles. They did all the little things, all the things that were harped on them towards the end of the season. They figured out a way to do it and put it together for a complete playoff effort. And now they go into a series, whether it's Vegas or Utah, sure, they could lose to both of those teams, but they can also very well beat them, and not in unconvincing fashion. And then all of a sudden you're in the Western Conference Final, and who knows? But this team is more ready for the right now than I think any of us ever anticipated, whether it was last summer, 2 weeks ago, and they're here, they're ready, and this Ducks team's not sneaking up on anybody anymore. They are going to be part of this fabric of these playoffs for several years to come. And this is just the first very impressive step that they took.
You mentioned a lot that I want to come back to. I want to dwell on, but time frame wise, everything. You mentioned some guys, and obviously we saw the core, right? This young core, and we're going to touch on Jackson a bunch, but Jackson, Leo, Beckett, Cutter, right? I mean, surprisingly, Lucas Dostal, he played fine, but like it wasn't like a typical Lucas Dostal.
No, he made the big saves when he needed to, but it wasn't.
Right.
It wasn't.
We haven't seen the best of Lucas yet.
He had a great game last night in Game 6.
Yeah. We haven't seen the best of Lucas yet, but you mentioned one guy in particular, and I'm a big veteran guy. I'm really happy to see Kreids and John Carlson continuing. Mikael Granlund continues to prove that he can take over an entire game. You want to see it every night, but like he can take over when he needs to. But there was one guy you mentioned, and Thomas, I'm going to kind of go to you for this one. I know that you weren't covering the series, but Troy Terry. Troy Terry was a part of the last playoff Ducks team. He was a young guy at that point. He's still a relatively young guy, but seeing Troy Terry be able to go through the entirety of this thing, as much as we wanted to see other guys make it all the way through, right? All the way through the rebuild, everything like that. Troy Terry's the one guy that got to do it. How rewarding can you imagine this is for Troy? And Jack, I know you talked to Troy. Zach, I know you did, but I just kind of want to go to Thomas for this. How rewarding is it to see Troy Terry winning a playoff series again?
Right. And if I'm correct, I think Troy Terry didn't even suit up when they were in the playoffs last, right?
No.
So, I mean, this was his playoff debut as well. So it's awesome, though, for someone who's been through, just drowned in the mud for the years. The Ducks have just not been good. And then have this come up with this group and played great too. He played great in the the series and had like this whole coming out party with the rest of the squad. And he's somebody that's meant so much to the franchise. You know what I mean? I mean, there was discussions when they gave out that C patch to Gudis 2 years ago that some people thought it was Terry, should have been Terry. And so you see somebody who's been so important to this franchise and just have the opportunity to come out on one of the biggest stages in hockey and I mean shine and do just play so great out there. And I really appreciate the quote that Jack got out of him yesterday, and I'll let Jack elaborate more on that. But seeing what it meant to him, just seeing what it means to the city too, it's been great. Ducks are taking over Southern California.
That's exactly
first guy in the handshake line last night.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Troy.
a big one. See, that's one that goes under the radar. That's a
Troy
big
was
one.
the first guy in the handshake line last night, and that stood out to me as like
that's a big.
With Gudas on the men, he's despite Killorn sort of being the nominal de facto captain, with Gudas out, Troy Terry is still very much the emotional leader.
And respectfully, before we go to Jack, because I was going to go to Jack for the comment that he got from Troy, but respectfully, Killer, I forgot all about Alex. Alex had a heck of a series.
Yeah,
really Alex is one of the better players in the series. So just you say that about every guy because every guy had their own moment, which is nice to have. But Killer was great. So Jack, you got to talk to Troy last night, and what it means. You and I were talking about it before we jumped on. Is Orange County, Anaheim, Orange County needs a moment from their sports teams. And we'll touch on it later, but you got to get the quote from Troy about it that was right on par with what this area needs, what Orange County really needs.
I mean, let me be clear. I did not ask him the question. I was just there in the scrum with everyone. So I just posted.
How dare you? How dare you?
Yeah, I just posted it on Twitter. But I think Zach actually asked him the question. There were multiple people that asked him about the fans and what this means and all that. So the quote he gave, if you missed it, I posted on Twitter. It said, "A lot of us live in the Newport area. All of a sudden, you're seeing cars with Ducks flags on them everywhere. You really start to see what this means to Orange County. It's been a long time, so it's nice to have a team that they seem they're proud of." And yeah, obviously, the Ducks and the Angels haven't really done much the last 8 years, in between the Ducks playoff appearances. So, and it's obviously, been 10 years since the Angels have made the playoffs. So, or no, 11, right? Yeah, 11 years. It's going to be 12 this year.
It's been a bad decade. A bad decade.
Yeah. So Anaheim sports fans, Orange County sports fans, they desperately need something to wrap their arms around. And the Ducks are providing that for them right now. And it's not like it's a fluke, like, blip in the radar, making the playoffs and then disappear again. They have the blend of veterans to lead a young core and a young core that, like Zach said, they can do damage for the next, 10 years if they stick together and if they develop into what we all think they can develop. Like, they could be a problem in the Western Conference for years to come, if everything goes their way. And I mean, you saw it last night. I mean, throughout this whole playoffs, I mean, Lacombe, Carlson, Terry, Gauthier, Killorn, Granlund, all those guys putting up points, and it's a mix of young guys playing in the playoffs for the first time and grizzled vets. So I think what they have right now is just kind of a perfect storm. I don't know if they're going to go deep in the playoffs. I kind of doubt it, but they're showing that this isn't a fluke.
Yeah. Mentally wrapping my head around a few things. The one thing I want to mention is you mentioned the fan base, right? I think a lot of people nationally were surprised at how loud the pond is. I was not. I think it's well known I am not a Ducks fan per se. I'm a Vancouver Canucks fan. The pond has always been a place that gets very loud. Now, the last decade, it's gotten steadily quieter. But Zach, you and I were there opening night. I looked at you and I was like, I don't remember it being this loud in a long time, man.
Though? I felt that so much in game 3 in particular.
Yeah.
And I had some time to think about this. And because I had the thought while I was sitting there in game 3 in particular of, I don't know that I had ever heard that building like that. Even when they won the cup, even when they had the comeback.
The comeback was the only one I can think of.
But even then, because my thought with that is, I am as old as this franchise is, basically. I started going to games when I was 3 years old, right? And so when you get to those first round of playoff runs, most of the adults that are in the building at that point, they weren't lifelong fans. They were people that picked them up later, or they were bandwagon, or whatever you want to call them.
And
But now,
Disney, but yeah,
yeah, but now that we're in year, gosh, what are we now?
30,
33?
yeah,
Yeah, 33 of the franchise?
94,
Or
94, right?
90, 93, 94. So
So yeah,
32,
33,
33.
33.
You have plenty of people that have known nothing but the Ducks, and maybe even were exposed to them during those most successful years of the franchise. And so they have been waiting those 8 years while they were in their young adulthood to get to spend their own hard-earned adult money on a winning franchise. And you have a different energy in the building. This isn't some expansion, startup anymore. This is real organic passion that is developed for this team over the course of that 30 years that's actually showcasing itself in this situation. And I think that's where that all comes from now, is that there is true actual diehard Ducks fans, not ones that had to be developed. It's dyed in the wool Ducks fans that now they've put their whole lives into feeling something for this team, and now they can do that in a meaningful way on a stage like that, and let out a lot of those 8 years of frustration on one series, and kind of support what this thing is.
Maybe that's why I'm because I can think back to when the Kings were successful and they won their cups, right? Those were 40-year, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
It took they had the 30 to 40 years of experience of this being a bad team, right? And then you get to the success. When the Ducks won the cup, obviously Southern California hockey took a boost, right? It's like the three big moments of Southern California hockey is Wayne Gretzky arriving, maybe the Kings moving to Staples Center is maybe one, when the Ducks won the cup, and when the Kings won the cup, right? It's like you get the Kings. I take the Kings out of the Forum. I think that's a big deal. But either way, I think those 3 to 3.5 moments, those are the substantial ones. This has a chance of being a fifth moment. And no matter how far they make it into it, but just being able to say, hey, like, it's not just LA, right? Orange County is a successful market for hockey, and it always has been. I think Orange County, like I said, I've been going to Ducks games for, same as you, 30 years, right? Place has always been loud. There's always been support. It's always been a big barn that supports this team. And I think that the Ducks as a building in the community as well, I think, and this is even prior to the Samuelis, I think the Ducks and the Kings, I'll give the Kings their credit where it's due. I think Southern California has given back to the community so heavily between the Ducks and the Kings, and they separate themselves. So it's nice to see that Orange County is supported so much so by the Ducks, and in return, Orange County supports the Ducks back. And it's nice to see that it's going to a national audience at this point too.
When you talk about supporting the community too and investing, it's not just like, going out and having a pop-up or making that little coffee shop that they have in downtown Orange. Southern California,
biggest skating rink in Southern California is the Ducks property.
Yes. This is a hockey market.
Yes.
Because of what the Ducks and Kings have done to invest in the hockey infrastructure of Southern California in both their areas, the Ducks massively in Orange County and in the IE, and the Kings all throughout, up into Santa Clarita.
Well, and I was going to say, add to it is the Kings are in Inland Empire. Kings are building Inland Empire while the Ducks are building San Diego.
Yeah.
So this goes from Santa Barbara down all the way.
And
to
also,
the
junior Duck alum Cam York scoring the overtime winner for the Philadelphia Flyers to eliminate the Pittsburgh Penguins. Z Bullion was a SoCal native.
Thatcher Demko carrying the Canucks to a championship.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, the list goes on. Like, this is the thing that I took, like, going to Edmonton to experience playoff hockey up there. It's a different animal. Like, it is the only thing they have in some regards. But it is truly like it's what makes Edmonton like it's why Edmonton in the first place is the Oilers, and they put all that passion into the team, and it is a different animal. I will give them that. But in terms of like hockey knowledge, like there were a couple things where like things would happen in the games in Anaheim, and I was like, oh, right, everyone knows this rule. Like, it's not something where like, in Edmonton, they all know it by heart because they read the rule book as a baby.
Well, they all
like,
played.
Right. here, like, and you have to remember too, a playoff crowd is so different than a regular season crowd. Because in the regular season, it's entertainment. Hey, what are you doing on Friday night? Oh yeah, I got
Yeah.
some Ducks tickets. In the playoffs, it is the people that want to be there are in there, and that is
Spend their money.
right, and that's why it builds up. But there is a real passion for the sport among the community that has been cultivated and fostered by both the Ducks and Kings, and specifically the Ducks putting a lot of work. Like they were doing work before the Samuelis, but the Samuelis put that into overdrive in terms
Yeah.
of connecting them into the community and building that up, and it's paying dividends right now. I saw the Samuelis in the Ducks hallway when we were going into the locker room. Those are some happy folks because they've put a lot into all this and continuing to, as we see the construction around OC Vibe continue to grow. This is a big night for them too. For not the end of the road, not the top of the mountain again, but a payoff for a lot of the work that they've put in and a lot of the money and time and investment that they've put into this.
They're going to forget things that happen later. They're going to remember this. They're going to remember these last 2 weeks. And I think a lot of Ducks fans are going to remember this last week and a half. They might forget next year when they move through the first round or something, but this year they're going to remember this. Moving on, Jack, I put you on assignment for the Edmonton room kind of thing. So you got the reaction from Connor McDavid. You got a few of the reactions. Obviously, we have to caveat this. Connor McDavid was not 100%. It's not like he was shot. It's not like he got shot and he couldn't play. He could play. He was still one of the best players on the ice. Well, for a few games, he was one of the best players on the ice. A few games, non-existent up until
over a point per game, right?
A point per game.
Yeah.
First 3 games, he was useless. I know he scored. I know he got the goal and the assist in game four, right? Game 3,
Yeah.
whatever game. They were useless points. They were nothing. But Connor at the end of the series. Connor at the end of the series was a serious Connor threat. Jack, you got to talk to Connor after the game. You got to talk to the Oilers room. I hate asking what the vibe was like because obviously it sucked. Like you just lost and you're going to go golfing for the summer. But Connor, I thought, gave a very, very proper response. So can you kind of take us through what the Oilers' mentality was at the end of the series?
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody in that locker room knows that they had trouble keeping pucks out of the net, out of their own net, all season long since day one. And they all said the same thing. Like all the players kept saying, it's not a goaltending issue, it's a team issue. We have to play better in front of our goaltenders to give them a chance to keep us in the game. And they just weren't able to figure it out all year long. And they all expressed, we found it at some parts, but we couldn't keep it consistently. And um, it came out to be the difference in this series. I mean, they played against an Anaheim Ducks team that's got an explosive offense. They play a similar style as the Oilers do in terms of it's high tempo, a lot of chances off the rush. It's hard to keep up if you're not on your game defensively, and it showed. And then the comment that was kind of the big deal that Connor McDavid made last night was he said, "This is an average team with high expectations." Um, and he's probably talking about how the team just couldn't find their consistency throughout the season, but there's also a lot of people that I'm sure took that as him calling out, the
You know
roster
what, man?
construction maybe, but
At this point, the front office is you can point a finger at goaltending, you can point a finger at defense. It's front office decisions that have really ruined. And like you said, it's an average team with high expectations. The reason for the high expectations, this was a team that probably should have gone to the Stanley Cup again, third straight year. Should have improved.
yeah, and I think I can't remember the exact number off the top of my head, but I saw on Twitter that they have like $9.25 million locked up on three different goaltenders. And one of them's not even with the team anymore. And they still have to find a starting goaltender. So they're kind of in a mess heading into this offseason. It's going to be an interesting summer for Edmonton. I really don't know what they're going to do because, well, I mean, what's their cap situation? I don't know.
It's not easy. I think they have like 6 free agents. One of the Edmonton media told me.
And none of them are really high profile. Because I remember looking at the free agents last night, and none of them are really high profile free agents. They're for the most part just depth pieces that are moving on. So it's not like it's not like it's a $9 million contract coming off the books.
Well,
And let's be real, like when Connor McDavid re-signed for that 2-year deal, that which kicks in next year, it's not even really 2 years that they have to work with. They have 1 year
he
left
hasn't
Yeah.
he hasn't opt
to
out, right?
no,
Okay.
it's 2 years. I think it's an opt to continue, but
Okay.
it's the idea of like if you get into year two and you know that you're not cup worthy, then you got to cut bait with him and get what you can to rebuild that franchise. So you
He's
really
getting
this
a
Oilers
Shohei
group
Ohtani
has
deal.
right. They have one more kick at this can in a legitimate fashion, or that whole thing you will be like less so than the Angels because the the Oilers did make the Cup final in back-to-back years. But you would have two of the greatest players of this generation, maybe the greatest player of all time, and you didn't do a thing with it.
Well, and like let's pivot into multiple directions here. Last time the Ducks won a playoff series, right? Who did they
Mm-hmm.
beat? They beat
Connor McDavid and the
Edmonton.
Oilers. Yep.
Connor McDavid's sophomore season, his first full season in the NHL. And you know what that was? It was Edmonton ending an 11-year playoff drought. And obviously, Edmonton's problems didn't start with McDavid. Like they drafted Taylor Hall, they drafted Nail
They drafted
Yakupov,
first overall three
Ryan
consecutive
Ryan
seasons.
Nugent Hopkins. I mean, like give RNH his love. Like you gotta love RNH, but like
Yeah,
Ryan
Nuge
Nugent
is good.
Hopkins, right? You've got all these first overall picks, and you can't make the playoffs for 11 years, man. They had their own problems. So, but you look at where Anaheim is doing this, and suddenly we're rewatching it. Edmonton seems to be doing a dive. So I think this was a pivotal. I think this was a pivotal series on both fronts for both franchises. And
Yeah.
if Edmonton comes into next year looking kind of like what they did, I mean, 3 months ago, I think I said I don't think Edmonton's a playoff team, and here we are.
Yeah.
They're done.
Well, I will
6
give them
games
some
in.
caveat when it comes to the health and stuff because they went to back-to-back cup finals. It's a lot of hockey. You come into this season where it's an Olympic year where nobody has any days off ever. Your best players all go to said Olympics and play big minutes in every game that they
Yeah.
played. And by the end of the season, you are beat up. I will give them that caveat, and maybe they can. I think the thing that I took out of Chris Knobloch last night was how he complimented the Ducks. One, and two, him kind of mentioning that this team now has time to regroup. Like as much as they don't want to lose in the first round, a longer summer is probably beneficial to them overall. Now, is Chris Knobloch there to oversee this in the fall? I don't know. I don't know. He still brought them to 2 cup finals. I don't know how you can get rid of a coach
I think
that
Bruce
quickly, but
Cassidy needs to look at Alberta
yeah, Bruce
housing
Cassidy is
market.
available is the
Bruce
hard thing for
Cassidy
them.
needs to look at the Alberta housing
Yeah.
market. Also, probably like Redondo Beach, but either way.
Yeah. But it's still it's a situation where I would expect the Oilers to come back renewed, refreshed, with a different focus too, because they all said even leading into the series that the regular season had become monotonous, and they the other thing Knobloch said last night was the fact that they need to have a bit more. He used the word meaningful, but he corrected himself to be like more focused, determined regular season, because they just at no point during the regular season would you ever say that they were good enough. They did enough to get to the playoffs, but they weren't good enough to the standards that they had set, as Jack said from Connor's quote. They were a mediocre team that had high aspirations, and they were never going to get there playing the way they were.
Jack also had a comment that goes with that. Knobloch calling it like they're just cutting course through the regular season. Really, really worried about what Connor McDavid is going to do when he puts in full effort in a regular season. If he just dropped 140 points by commonality. Like,
Yeah,
that's
in
stupid.
a tired, mediocre regular season, it was 140 points.
I know. It's
They
stupid.
they played 14 playoff series for the last 5 years.
Yeah,
Wow,
it's a
That's
lot of hockey. Yeah, because even when they weren't making the Cup final, they were making the Western final. Like,
And
yeah,
and this year, McDavid playing in the Olympics, playing all the way to the gold medal game. And with the Olympics, it's a condensed schedule, less days off, which we'll get into with another Ducks player maybe later on. Like this team's got to be beat up, and I don't blame them.
yeah. That's not the Ducks' problem, though.
No.
Not anymore.
Ducks problems. Let's stay on topic. Ducks problem and Connor McDavid and Olympics. We saw a superstar rise to the moment, guys. I am going to eat some crow, so I'm going to go off screen, make a little outfit change, Taylor Swift style. But there's one thing I saw last night that was very impressive to me. Mike Trout was at the game with his family. Did you guys see what Beckham, his young son, was wearing?
Was it a Jackson Lacombe jersey?
It was a Jackson Lacombe jersey.
Oh, was
I
it?
remember it was a
Wow.
jersey. I just couldn't
Beckham
remember.
was
was-
wearing a
yeah.
Jackson Lacombe jersey. Jackson Lacombe, uh, need to call him the Dark Knight, dude. Came right out of the midst. A lot of comments made about Jackson from a national perspective is like a lot of the Olympic teammates were like, "Hey, we don't know why he didn't skate with us. He was one of the best players in practice. He was one of the best players out that we had. Proved it, absolutely proved it against Connor McDavid. Just to give you an idea, I was talking to Zach 3-4 days ago, and I was like, "Hey, where's Jacob Trouba been this series?" And he's like, "Well, he's paired with Jackson." I'm like, "Oh, that's why I haven't seen him because I'm paying attention to Jackson nonstop." Jackson Lacombe, we can get into the whole whatever, but just Jackson Lacombe not only is a star, but proved that he is a star defenseman, one of the best in the league through this series, through the season. I know that I bashed him for defensive zone turnovers at the start of the year. I'm going to eat crow on that too. I'll eat crow on a bunch of things. Pat Verbeek and other things as I make my outfit change. But Zach, Jackson Lacombe in this series, best player on the ice, maybe the best player in the NHL at this very moment for the last week and a half.
Best player on the ice, certainly. I would, between his defensive play and the points he put up, I would call him the early leader for a Conn Smythe Trophy if the Ducks were to, continue on. If they gave out awards for the first round, I think he was the best player of the first round for any single team. I'm going to wait till Taylor's back because I want to read off the full stats that I have in front of me. But it was extremely impressive. Like as Taylor alluded to, like we've seen Jackson be a little too casual at times, maybe a little slow, and you're like, what are you doing? Like you're supposed to be the guy, and you just got paid this big contract. Like where is this guy? I know that early on in his career, I was sort of like, okay, am I supposed to be seeing something extra with him? And over the last 18 months, right, he's been incredible. Just rocketing up the Ducks defensive depth chart and taking on those minutes and signing the deal. And there were plenty of times where I say, why did this happen? And then
Whoa.
I'm
Taylor's
eating crow
made
for
his
a
outfit
different
change.
thing here, but
okay.
yes, I'm listening. I'm still listening.
That Jackson has really morphed into what that guy is supposed to be. Here's his full stat line against Connor McDavid in this series. Thank you to our friend Patrick Present at the Hockey News for compiling this last night. At 5-on-5 this series, Jackson Lacombe played 66 minutes against Connor McDavid. In those 66 minutes, the Ducks got the better of the shot attempts, 78-50, shots on goal, 42-19, the goals, 6-2, for an expected goal percentage of 67% with Jackson Lacombe on the ice against Connor McDavid. 67% in a full series against the best player in the world. It's mind-boggling. It almost doesn't make sense, but what makes sense is just how good Jackson was.
But you got to give Patrick the credit. Patrick obviously sees the game a little differently than we do, and obviously he works for a different media affiliate than we do. But we love Patrick. Patrick puts in the work, so thank you, Patrick, President of the Hockey News, for that stat. Just wanted to mention that I am eating crow. I picked Pittsburgh over Philly, so I've got to kind of wear it. Sorry, got to do that. I got another one too. What was your favorite Jackson Lacombe moment this series? Because I have one that blew my mind. Absolutely blew my mind. But let's go, Jack. What was yours?
It's hard to pick. They come in the same game. It's hard to pick between one of the two. There's obviously the highlight reels, on his butt, rolls over, slides his stick, and blocks the 2-on-1 pass. But there's also the play on the other end, it was the other period, so they're in the other end. It was still in the defensive zone where McDavid's coming down on the rush, and he just fully bodies him into the corner. Doesn't lay a big hit, but he gets in the way, prevents him from generating breakaways that he is so famous of doing. Just put the body on him, put him into the corner, just ended the threat right then and there. So I go back and forth between those two.
I'm in the same boat, but the fact that you mentioned it, which one do you pick
Yeah.
among those two and others? So Zach, same deal.
The
The
one
break,
I picked,
the break with the 2-on-1, that one was pretty special.
the 2-on-1 is good, but it's also a thing of like even Jackson said he's like I was just hoping to get something on it. I like the one getting back in the zone and bodying him. The one that the Jackson Lacombe play that stood out, it's not on Connor McDavid. It's the one that made me say, "Oh, that's a different Jackson Lacombe." Game 1, the reverse hit on Zach Hyman.
Thought about that too.
That's the one where I'm like, "Oh, okay, Jackson, you're here. You're ready for playoff hockey." Because that's a thing he doesn't necessarily do. You don't see the gritty side of Jackson's game in the regular season, where he's logging a lot of minutes, he's skating up and down the ice, he's prone to turnovers occasionally because of how casual he can play, but when he needs to ranch it up the intensity, you saw it in the series that he can do that and in impressive fashion, and that was the one that sort of announced that to me.
Fair. Thomas, any favorite moments?
Yeah. I'm just waiting for you to say "Go Birds" since you're wearing a Philly jersey.
You're an Eagles fan, right?
Yeah.
Name 3 of their songs.
Yeah. Can't censor that.
Take it easy, Thomas.
Jeez, wow.
Take it easy.
Who hurt you? Damn.
No one got the take it easy joke.
No.
Thomas obviously did.
No, it's okay.
Why,
I'm the only one
Desperado,
that saw
come to
you.
your senses, man.
Yeah.
Ooh. Ooh.
Okay.
What do you got?
Yeah. Going on Jackson, I have to agree with Zach. I think the one thing that really stood out to me was just that game 1 hit. Just because I remember watching that game and I remember Edmonton all night long making big hit on Ducks players left and right, really trying to set the tone of what they were going to be against Leo Carlson. Leo took a lot of hits in that game, and I remember when Jackson made that hit and knocked him the hell out. I feel like it kind of shifted
Take
the
it to
energy
the
a
limit,
little bit.
buddy. Take it to the limit.
I feel like it kind of shifted the energy for them though, where it said, "No, screw that! Like just because we're the young kids, whatever. Like we're here to play, and we're gonna beat your ass doing it."
Another stat from another one of our friends, Greg Beecham of the Associated
Mhm.
Press.
Good guy.
In that whole series, with all the defensive effort going against McDavid, all that stuff, 1 penalty for Jackson Lacombe.
Ooh, that's a good one. It's a very good one.
Didn't have to reach or trip or he just played him straight up.
You know what that leads to for Edmonton?
What does it lead to?
A heartache tonight.
I was waiting on that one too.
I was
trying to find the right moment to say it.
We gave
Yeah.
it 4 songs, dude. Thomas
Yeah.
Thomas can't get in on the bid
What?
because he doesn't like he just does not get on the bid.
The Ducks
We
said
gave
it was going to be a
4
heartache
songs.
tonight.
Yeah.
As they said
Love
last
you,
night.
Thomas.
I mean,
Love you,
when
Thomas.
the Oilers were coming into the playoffs, they were looking at who their opponents were, and they realized at the Hotel California you can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave.
Well, and now the Ducks can, relax the next couple days and watch the Vegas and Utah series with a peaceful, easy feeling.
Mm. So would you guys say that Jackson Lacombe is the new kid in town?
Okay.
I'd say Leo Carlson was living life in the fast lane.
Yeah.
One of these nights, Thomas is going to listen to the Eagles, but I can't tell you why.
I've
I was gonna use
listened
that
to
one
the
next.
Eagles, man.
So probably like,
I can see right through those lion eyes, Thomas.
Yeah.
damn, that's a good one. Trying really, I can't do it, guys. I can't do it. I was trying really hard to fit in Tequila Sunrise.
I know.
but
I'm
can't
thinking
do it.
like, how can I
like,
fit in?
just sit here. What are you drinking tonight? What are you drinking tonight?
Oh, I don't drink tequila. I'm a
No,
whiskey guy.
That's a no for me, dog.
Tequila's the only one I
I'll
can't.
have a Tequila Sunrise for you guys. All
There
right.
you go.
I got to eat crow. I got to switch into
Moving
another.
on. Pat Verbeek.
Predictions wise, you guys did good. I think Jack, you did not have the Ducks moving on. I don't think, right? You had the Oilers in 7 or 6.
6, I believe.
That's fine. Zachary.
Yeah.
You had the Ducks in 6.
I had the Ducks in 6.
6. Thomas, what'd you have?
I forgot. Was it
I
5?
keep
I thought
forgetting.
you wrote
Oh
it down.
my.
I wrote it down, but you had the Oilers moving on, didn't you?
No, I had the Ducks.
Okay.
I was the
There
only
you
one
go.
that had the Oilers.
Thomas
think
was the
so,
only
man.
one that picked the Ducks to make the playoffs, if you remember.
Well,
So
that was a
Sure.
long
he's
time
got to
ago.
ride.
I
He's got to
was-
ride the
I
Ducks
believe
train.
in Anaheim.
That's
Yeah.
fine. He's also the only one that picked
Pick the
the
Flyers.
Phillies to make it as
The
well.
Phillies.
Phillies. God, yes, that one. The
Yeah.
other.
Did you see the Phillies
Yes.
went to the Flyers
Yes.
game and they
Yeah.
got booed?
I was curious how the Ducks fans were going to react
That's
when they
so
put
on
the Angels
brand.
on the video
It's
board.
such a Philly thing.
That's such a Philly thing.
It's so
Yeah.
good. It's so good.
God.
Yeah.
I also have to
I also
change-
gotta
They
give a
would've
shout
booed
out
the
to Gritty.
Sixers too.
Yeah,
gotta-
Gritty's.
Dude, Gritty's been great on social.
Hey, by the way, guys,
Gritty throwing the penguin off the second deck. Good stuff.
the reason I want to bring this up is
Stuff.
I've got to flip around, so the audio is going to be a little off. Little
Is that Brad Richards?
Richard.
little
or
Mike
Mike
Richards,
Richards.
love.
Mike
Little Mike
Richards.
Richards love. Because former teammate of Mike Richards, Trevor Lewis, kind of got lost at the retirement announcements with Jonathan Quick, Anze Kopitar. So Trevor Lewis, greatest hockey player from the state of Utah. Respect to Ian Moore on that. But Trevor Lewis, greatest hockey player born in Utah. Congratulations on an outstanding career. Outstanding career, Stanley Cup champion. Really cool to see him kind of call it. I thought he retired years ago, but really like Trevor Lewis. As we carry on to the predictions, I got to switch into another one because of stupid reasons. I'm going to eat crow. I'm going to wear it. It's fine. It's all good.
We can pause if you want.
No, we're fine. I'm not pausing. Heck no. We're going to do that. I'm
Okay.
doing it on the fly, buddy. Like I said, I'm Taylor Swift.
right.
I'm Swift like Taylor Swift.
We're just gonna get your little name like in the corner.
Sure.
Yep.
Last screen.
So, but either way, going on about this, we talked about Jackson Lacombe. We talked about this. Carrying on with Jackson Lacombe, we've mentioned it. You've got guys. You've got the presence. You got veterans. Mikhail Granlund has proven that he can take over a game. John Carlson has proven that he's a secondary defensive lockdown player. Chris Kreider didn't have a great series, had a great game 6. It worked out for him. Ryan Poehling, Jeff Viel has been impactful to the highest degree.
Revelation.
We can talk about the young guys all we want, but these veteran presence, who's been your guy? Who's been your guy? And that's open to the crowd as I do my Taylor Swift nonsense.
From the crowd of vets, I think it has to be Granlund for me, because I think he was a game 3 that he had like the 3-4 point night, and I think it was 3. And he's been consistent. Like he's helped that line with him, Killorn and Seneca. Beckett Seneca, for being all 20 years old and never experiencing true playoff
For
hockey,
being a man-child.
he was one of the most dynamic players in the series that maybe didn't have enough of an impact on the score sheet that maybe he should have.
Sure.
But again, another kid that's just like not afraid of playoff hockey despite his age and what he should be. He doesn't care about that. He just goes out there and plays. He's good, man.
He plays like a big boy.
Yeah.
You gotta give him the tip.
I swear to God, he's morphing into Corey Perry with every passing moment. It's so funny to me that he just
All right, when
is
he's-
Corey Perry soon enough.
All right, needs to show him the clip of Corey pouring the water. in the
Yeah,
gloves.
he's a little bit of a shit disturber, but not in the Perry way quite yet. He's got to work up to that. That's legendary
He'll be
stuff.
there.
Jack, who you got?
With Granlund off the board, I'll go Alex Killorn. 3 goals, 3 assists, 6 points in 6 games. But more importantly, I feel like he's really good at, how do I say this right? He just works well with his line mates. Like he finds space for his line mates. He is great defensively. He's responsible in the defensive zone, which is what the Ducks need, especially when he's playing on the line with Beckett Seneca. You need that to mitigate, the defensive struggles that Seneca has as a 20-year-old, freshly turned 20-year-old. He's experienced. He's won. Was it 1 or 2 cups with 2? He was there for the second one, right? Yeah. He's won 2 cups with the Tampa Bay Lightning. He knows what playoff hockey is. He knows what it takes. And I feel like he's just been a calming presence for the top 6 for the Ducks. I just really like the way he's played. He's just played responsible, not flashy. He's not going to make highlight reel plays, but he's solid.
Thomas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Just place and plug. He's a place and plug second, third line forward. He's been outstanding. Killer is definitely the unsung guy of the season.
Killer is also in these playoffs a very calming North Star kind of presence. Like I said, he's the de facto captain with Radko injured, and he does a lot in that way of sort of being the most tenured guy, the most playoff experienced guy, of giving them like a, hey, we're good, just come back next period and try again.
Yep. Thomas, who's your
Definitely.
veteran?
I think Killorn's been great too. Especially because I've just enjoyed seeing him do like the dirty work, right? So that's one thing I'll say about him. I mean, dude, let's give it to Troy Terry, just because, like I was saying earlier, what he's meant to this team, this franchise for all these years, and then he had 3 goals in this series, 5 assists, 8 points. I mean, he showed why he's so important to Anaheim and why the city, the fan base loves him. So I'll give it to Troy Aikman Terry.
Good one. No, it's a good call. It's a good call. I got to come back on my own faults here. Is when there was a trade made in the middle of the season, and it was so unimportant to us. We spent like a minute and a half on the episode talking about it. Jeff Viel, massive impact player, man, mass impact player.
There's no way to even know that. Like that's why we like I think it was one of those trades that I simply retweeted it because I was like, I don't even know what this is. Like,
I know you wrote. I don't even think you wrote the story. I think someone.
No.
I think Holden Graff wrote the trade article on it.
It just sort of happened, and you're like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I looked up the stats. I'm like, I saw them play Boston twice. I don't know who this guy is.
But I'm not talking about the goals, because he had 2 substantial goals. Like
Two
he had an
huge
insurance
goals.
goal and he had the tying goal, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead or tie.
Game
Either
tying
way.
goal. Yeah.
Like, what in the world, Jeff? But his presence on the ice has been substantial. And I never saw it coming. I never saw it coming. He's been an impactful player no matter what the box score says, no matter what the stat sheet says. He has been important, and he's logging important minutes as well. So give me Jeff Viel, man. Jeff Viel is give me the Bombay jacket, and I will hand it to him most nights.
When I got a few Edmonton radio hits during the series, and the last one I did, they were asking me about the fourth line, VL, Washi, Moore, and like, oh, why are these guys being so successful with Quenneville? Like, what kind of trust does he have in them? And it's a thing where they were asked to do a lot of different things during the regular season, but in this series, they had 2 jobs. Tim Washi, win faceoffs. Everybody else, forecheck like hell. If you score a goal, great. If you lay a big hit on McDavid or Draisaitl, which they did more than a few times, great. But you are not out there to score goals. You are not going to be, a dynamic. You are out there to possess the puck and beat up the other team if you don't have the puck. And they filled those roles to a T, and that's what I think made both Washi and VL so impactful in the series. Was they weren't doing anything outside of their lane, and they were going full speed in that lane of, again, forecheck, win face off, play defense, and excelled. Like on a raw numbers standpoint, they played a lot of time against McDavid, and over the course of time, McDavid's going to have more shot attempts and expected goals, whatever. That's just the way it is.
25 minutes, 30 minutes.
But the margin isn't as big as it should be for McDavid against another team's fourth line. Again, a fourth line of a rookie center, a rookie defenseman forward, and a bit player journeyman winger.
Yeah. On top of that, I know he's not a veteran. I'm asking about veterans. Give Tim Washi his flowers too. Tim Washi played really well. Washi face-offs did the works. He did a lot of dirty work and put it in. So, carry on to our next point. Anything to just moving on to what's next here, guys. On the part of what's next, just as I continue to eat crow through the episode, I picked the Dallas Stars to win the Stanley Cup this year. So for that, gotta rock the Minnesota Wild sweater.
First Minnesota Wild playoff series win in 11 years.
Yes, in 11 years. Talk about a place that Minnesota Twins didn't win a series since 2004. 2002.
Oh yeah, 2002.
It was they lost.
Is it really?
They lost the ALCS to the Angels that year. That was the last.
It's really been since 2002 for them.
I think they won one last year, didn't they?
I thought it was a couple years
I
ago.
don't know.
They broke
They
the streak a
just
couple years
snapped
ago.
it.
Because
They
they
just
beat the Blue Jays.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking like 2-3 years ago they snapped it. But talk about a place that needs some playoff success, man. Minnesota.
Yeah.
Timberwolves are I think the Timberwolves are doing okay. I don't do basketball, but I think
Timberwolves are doing.
okay.
Yeah, Timberwolves just eliminated Denver last night.
Oh, and talk about, I mean, dear God, the football team.
Well, they've had success.
Yeah, they've won a few
They
games.
just choke in the bigger moments.
That's what I was going to say. They need a
They live the
playoff
Kirk
moment.
Cousins experience.
They set this bad boy up right here, Super Bowl 52 in Minnesota, where the Eagles won after
You're an Eagles fan, right?
kicked their ass in Philly.
So the thing with the Wild too, I'm not going to let you do that anymore, Taylor.
I'm not going. That wasn't the way I was going. That's not where I was going.
No, like the Wild, it's not even that they were bad. They made the playoffs every year,
really
and they
good.
just couldn't get out of the first round. And here they are finally. The Quinn Hughes effect.
Man.
Yeah,
I could get you douche.
He scored the winning goal.
He scored 2.
Yeah, and the winning goal, he intentionally shot that off the Dallas forward.
I know he did.
Net.
I know
he
did.
It's so smart.
It hurts so much. It hurts so much.
I can see the pain off your face right now.
It hurts, dude. It hurts.
You look like you just saw your ex-girlfriend with the new guy, and they're looking great.
I'm pretty okay. I'd rather see my ex-girlfriend with any guy.
Okay.
In anything but a Vancouver.
like you just got dumped and she broke up with you.
So,
like you're 16.
By the way, I could give you 100 guesses what the nameplate is on this. You'll never guess. I might have told you before. But
is it Gabrick?
No.
Wes Walls?
No.
Oh,
I'll give you 100 guesses. You'll never guess it.
Manny Fernandez.
No, I'm gonna flip around in 2.
Was Daniel Winnick?
That's a good one.
Was Daniel Winnick a Wild?
Who?
Daniel Winnick.
Daniel Winnick was a Wild at some point.
It's not Daniel Winnick.
Is it a name that I would know?
Yeah, you know it. Former blooper reel guy. Had some off ice struggles that he fixed over time. Former San Jose Shark.
Jonathan Chichu?
No, but that's a good one too.
Okay. Owen Nolan? Devin Setaguchi. That's right, because you like him from the Ontario Reign days, right?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
Give that man a Gucci sponsorship.
Never would have figured Devin Setaguchi though.
No.
But all right, guys.
Taylor, by the way, just one more thing on Quinn Hughes. When I went to Canada to McDonald's, they had this promotion where they have these star sticks. They're all these mystery boxes. One of them, if I can't get you in there, but Quinn Hughes is in his Vancouver Canucks sweater on there somewhere.
Thanks, man.
If I pull a Hughes, I'll send it your way.
Thanks, buddy.
Because on the inside, in the box,
that doesn't hurt.
On the box, he's wearing his Minnesota Wild sweater, but on the packaging, they didn't have time to fix that. He's still a Canuck on the packaging. So
it hurts so bad. So bad. So much potential. They could have knocked out McDavid 2 years ago, man. They could have done it.
We'll send that card with your Angels Mando jersey, Taylor.
Yeah. I should have picked up when I was in Vancouver at the during the regular season. They had in the team store, they had traded players merchandise that was all like 60-70% off.
Oh, damn it, dude. You should have bought me one.
They had a Quinn Hughes black skate Canucks jersey for 80 Canadian bucks.
Oh no.
Yeah, I should have got it.
Oh, you should have got me a JT Miller one, dude. Oh, God, so much potential. So much potential. Thatcher Demko. Why does that kid got... Actually, Shelov's played great.
Carter Shelov's. Yeah.
Sticking Timmy Thomas, man. Freaking Timmy Thomas.
We're at 59 minutes, so let's keep going.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Timmy Thomas for the next hour. All right, I'm going to get out of this mess. What's next? Obviously, we don't know who they're playing, but does it matter? Does it matter who they're playing? Ken, you mentioned it. Killer walks in the room, says, next shift. Next man down, right? Next shift, next period. Next series. Series after that. I'm telling you, I've told you guys for how long. John Carlson walks in the room, tells Becca Seneca, we're winning the Stanley Cup this year. Alex Corin walks in, tells Cutter Gauthier, You're scoring the Game 7 game winner in the Stanley Cup, Western Conference Finals. I don't care what it is. What's next, guys? This team go all the way? Can they do it? I know, Jack, I know you're the one that's maybe not believing so much, so I'm going to start with you on it as I
Well,
get out of this stinking thing.
I mean, you just look at matchups and all that, and the Ducks haven't played their best hockey against the Central like the rest of the NHL. I mean, they have taken what 2 or 3 from Dallas this year, I believe.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, well, Dallas is gone now, so that's a moot point. But um, you look at the next matchup; it's either Vegas or Utah. Obviously, like we said, with Vegas, they are a much better team. They're a real team, but they have terrible goaltending, which could be in the Ducks' favor because just with the amount of chances that they create for themselves. But they are a playoff tested team. They have a lot of stars. They have a lot of star power. So Vegas, it's not going to be easy. I mean, either way, it's not going to be easy. But with Utah, it's kind of like the similar matchup as a for the Ducks, just because they're both fire wagon hockey teams. They're both young, both in the playoffs for the first time in quite some time. Obviously, they were the Utah was Arizona. They really never really made the playoffs in the last, you know, 8 years like the Ducks did. So they don't know what they're doing either in terms of how to play in the playoffs. So I think Utah might be a better matchup for the Ducks just because neither team really knows what they're doing, but they did play better against Vegas in the regular season. Granted, that was before John Tortorella showed up. Um, and then if they get by that and they go to the conference finals, I mean, you got to play either Minnesota or Colorado, and both teams gave the Ducks and the rest of the NHL fits. So I don't see it going much further than that, but I can see them beating uh, whoever they face in the second round.
Yeah, as I said to you last night, Jack, and I think earlier in the podcast too, the next series is a winnable series. It's losable. They could, but they can beat Utah. They beat them 2 out of the 3 times in the regular season. The one time they did lose was 7-0 loss at home. So maybe that's not the one you want to hang your hat on. And they swept the series with Vegas, despite all 2 of those games going to overtime, and they were all competitive. Like I feel like the Ducks, if the Ducks play Vegas, it will be similar. I think it would be a little bit more similar to the Oilers series in terms of being able to play up and down a bit. Whereas Utah, I feel like Utah played the Ducks tough. Like they were tougher games. Like the Vegas games were hard, but it was more of a competitive hard, like both teams trading their opportunities sort of thing. And Utah was a bit more grindy and forced the Ducks into more mistakes on a regular basis. The difference between the two, of course, would be the Ducks would host Utah for the first 2 games, or they would go to Vegas for the first 2 games, if that is something you want to worry about. But I don't think that really matters. The Ducks proved that they could win on the road, and both Vegas and Utah proved they can win on the road. It's sort of one or the other. But they can win the series. In a Western Conference final, it'll be tougher because they didn't. They beat Colorado once, but that was a Lukas Dostal miracle in a 1-0, 2-1 shootout win in Colorado. And then Minnesota, they never looked good once all season against the Wild. So I don't know that would be a good test for them either. But everybody's a different team now, so it's kind of hard to say. But I'm going to write this story because I asked the questions last night, and I can see it, that this team has gone from just earning experiences to believing that they could win some games right now. And I don't want to put a cap on where they could go, but it's a tougher road if they get past this next round. But the next round's winnable, and all you got to do is win the series in front of you, and they certainly can, no matter who comes out.
I don't. When it comes to Vegas, I think Tortorella's done a crap job of figuring out that team. I think you watch Jack Eichel. Jack Eichel is not playing like Jack Eichel right now. Yeah. I mean, you're talking about a top 5, 10, whatever play. He's one of the best players in hockey, and he's playing like they have him basically enforcing. It's really stupid the way that John has him systematically playing. Marner has kind of been non-existent to a degree. I know he had the assist for game 5, that set up the overtime goal and everything. But I think Vegas is playing very awkwardly, and I don't I think they're going to move on. I think with that luck overtime goal, I think it's going to carry into a win in the series. I don't know if Utah is going to be able to pull one of these last two games, but if it's Utah, I would be concerned. I think the Ducks were really bad against teams that played a 1-3-1 defense. You know, they struggled. They struggled against Utah. They struggled against Seattle at times. They struggled against Ottawa. Teams that were just kind of that flat line. We're just going to hold you we're going to hold you, and you've got to get behind us on the blue line. And for an offensive team, an offense first team, if you can't get into your offensive zone, you're going to struggle. So I would worry about Utah quite a bit. After that, though, if you make it past either of these teams, I think they could get back. I think they could beat Vegas. And I don't think it's going to take 7. I think they could beat Vegas. I do not believe in Vegas, and they'll probably be eating crow wearing a Shea Theodore jersey. I was saying next week I'll be wearing a Shea Theodore jersey or something. I don't know, but
7-0-1 under John Tortorella before the playoffs, and now 3-2.
Yeah, but that's Cassidy set that up, man. That's not.
But to be fair, when Tortorella came in, he also said that he's not going to try to rock Bruce Cassidy's ship too much.
Yeah,
just sort of try to be more of a. It was more of a mental thing with them rather than a strategy thing.
I also don't believe in Carter Hart at all. Like,
I don't think anyone does
at all. Like,
right. and that's Jack's point. Like, you know, we talked about Lukas Dostal in his first round, and he didn't have a typical Lukas Dostal game until Game 6, and even then, you could say that he doesn't. He still has some of his best hockey left in the tank. If Dostal goes out and has a big Dostal game and wins any one of those games in the next round, I think that portends a Ducks win because they do just have the better goaltending overall. And they're just, I don't know, they're playing differently. And I don't trust this Vegas team with the way that they're playing right now. Like you said, I feel like the Ducks can certainly counterpunch with them all game long. I am seeing that William Karlsson is joining the Vegas morning skate today. So he should be coming back in action, which he's done very well against his former team over the course of his career.
William Karlsson fan.
So I don't know.
No, I'm with you.
Either one is an easier trip than getting to Edmonton, so I don't really care.
Dear God, let's hope it's Vegas. Let's hope it's Vegas for travel's sake. Thomas Murray, what's next, man? What do you got? You've got Colorado like going 16-0 all the way to the Stanley Cup.
I still stand by. I think Colorado will be a juggernaut,
I think I'm the only one that didn't. You're fine.
Yeah, I think they're the team to beat in the West, but I do think the Ducks can knock out either Utah or Vegas. I mean, they've shown it all year long. Golden Knights, I think they're a dysfunctional team. There's a lot more crap going on in that locker room where the vibes are thrown off, and I just don't think they look like themselves. And that's what everybody's kind of saying on this. So I honestly, if you at the start of the year you looked at it and you're like, oh, worst case scenario, you play Vegas, and now you're looking at like best case scenario, you play Vegas.
Well, I mean, I feel like it's been all season it's been the second line players. It hasn't been the Marners and the Eichels, but the Barbashevs and the whoever Obs. I can't. Who's the guy that had the hat trick the other night?
Dorofeev?
Yeah, it's Dorofeev. It's
or was it Howden?
Dorofeev. Howden had a heck of it.
Howden scored the OT.
Talk about a sneaky Conn Smythe kind of thing. Howden's playing really well. No, either way, the thing with Vegas all year long is, you've got to get this guy going. Oh, you've got to get this guy going. You've got to get this guy going. It never happened. Guys aren't getting going. Now you have the game like with not Barbashev, but I can't. Whatever Jack said, I can't remember the guy's name.
Dorofeev.
Yes, thank you.
Pavel
has a hat
Dorofeev.
trick, has a hat trick and has an outstanding game 5. Outstanding game 5. Can't take that away from. But it's like you don't have guys getting going, and now you have Jack Eichel in a lost mystery. You've got Mitch Marner not figuring things out. So what are you? I just don't.
Eichel does have 8 points in 5 games, though.
Does he really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Holy cow! I did not expect that.
Yeah.
Did not expect that.
Marner assisted on the
overtime Howden. Yeah. That was more Marner than anything with the stick check. And I'll give it to him on that. But I just don't see this Vegas team doing a whole lot. Now, on the flip side, we're really excited for that Colorado-Minnesota series. Really excited for it. So
that's going to be fun.
All right, guys. Anything more? Hockey? Ducks, anything? I mean, we can
One,
talk ad nauseum. Yep.
just one last thing. There's been a lot of talk about Dostal this series. Obviously, has not been the best Dostal showing that we've seen from him. Had a great game in Game 6, but I'm seeing too many people. Granted, it's Twitter. There's a lot of idiots on Twitter, but I'm seeing too many people
A
talk
lot.
about, is Dostal the guy? Should they look somewhere else? Whatever. And I think that's just ridiculous. You know, this year he's counting regular season, playoffs, and Olympics. He's played in 66 games this year. That's the most in his life. And the next highest is 56, which is last year. Or no, 56 when he was 15 years old. He played in 54 games last year. That's the most in professional hockey. So not only is he playing more than he's used to, with this being the Olympic schedule, the regular season was condensed. There was less days off to rest in between games. So I'm sure Dostal is probably just dead tired. He's probably dealing with some sort of fatigue, whether it's mental or physical, right now. So am I worried about him for the rest of the playoffs? Maybe. But am I worried about him in the long run? Absolutely not. I think next year under a regularly scheduled well, technically regular season, because aren't they moving to 84 games next year now?
84, yeah.
But they're taking away
Two preseason
two
games.
preseason, so it
Yeah.
kind of evens
Oh,
out in
boy.
a way. Either way, in a non condensed schedule, I think this year is going to be huge for Dostal to wear his lumps now, get playoff experience now, and be better for it for next year. So, am I worried? Like I said, am I worried about him for the rest of the playoffs? Maybe, but am I worried about him in the long haul? Absolutely not.
No.
To the people, because those people are in my mentions every damn day.
Oh God.
If Ville Husso started every game that series, they'd be going to Game 7 on
And
Saturday, and they would be losing.
I think they
Not and
ended
that, and I
five.
love Ville. I think Ville's a great human being. I think he's a very very capable backup goaltender.
Backup.
Has stepped up in big spots for the Ducks this season. Lucas Dostal made some incredibly huge saves, even in those games where he was giving up 4 goals. You look at the overtime game that they won. He stopped Connor McDavid on a breakaway in a tie game in the third period. He made an incredible rebound adjustment save
Yeah.
to open the third period of a tie game in the playoffs in the third period. They don't win game 2 without him. They don't win game 4 without him, and they lose that series if it's not Lucas Dostal. That's just the long and the short of it.
I have no reason to respond to stupidity.
No, like does he?
I appreciate that you guys did, but I have no reason to
Yeah.
respond to stupidity. It's Dostal or not. That's
could
ridiculous.
he be a little bit better? Certainly. Could he stop allowing the first shot on goal into the net? That would be beneficial to this team in the long run. But
Well, I told you
he's still a better goalie over the course of the game. It's not
Game 5.
Whatever.
Game 5, I talked to you, 2 hours before the game? And I'm like, this is going to be a 7-1 game. This is going to be the blowout game. And I said, we're going to see Husso today. I said, I told you that, word for word. You're bound for one of them, especially when you're playing Edmonton. So, no, it's just stupid. So, anything to close out hockey? Thomas, anything?
Oh, I think.
Well,
I
we
think we hit it all.
Go ahead,
we
Zach.
can transition by saying somebody got some playoff experience last night for the first time in 11 seasons.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I'm saying
That's not
this is
true.
what
He
it-
went to
this is
playoff
what it
games
feels like, Anaheim.
with the Ducks later.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Rock on, freaky bro.
Not even
Yeah.
his fault, though.
No.
We already talked about Beckham. Yeah, no, we are gonna have to transition, and we do have to talk about the
Yeah, here's
Los
the
Angeles Angels baseball.
How many
depressing.
guys were in that box, Jack? Like you're better at spotting them.
Oh, hold on. Let me look at
I'm gonna
the
go
Twitter picture
uh,
because they had like the families and stuff there too.
It was,
I wanna
but it was
say-
Nolan, Reed, Mike.
Yeah, hold on. I have a picture of all of
Zach.
them
I'll
together.
say 13
I can just read 'em
of
off.
the players, 14.
So you got Chase Silseth, Ryan Zefferjean,
Mhm.
Ben Joyce, Vaughn Grissom, Adam Frazier, Zach Neto, Mitch Ferris, Reed Detmers, Brian Suter, Drew Pomerantz, Logan O'Hoppe, Bryce Teodosio, Jack Ohanowitz, Nolan Shanawell, Sam Bachman, Mike Trout, and looks like a couple of the coaches.
I was gonna say not a lot of guys missing.
No.
Like no, who's starting tonight? Who started?
Urania.
Walbert. Walbert. Yeah, I didn't see Walbert. I didn't see Jose. I didn't see Yusei. Like, I just didn't see the rotation. That's about it.
No
Like,
doubt.
honestly, the rotation's the only guys I didn't see there in it.
Yeah.
Um,
Says Kawanowitz and Detmers.
yeah, that's right. Oh, yep, there you go. So, um, we can keep it short, guys. Angels are losing.
Yep.
They're losing a lot. I mean, this could be a big wake up call. I know that it's, two different sports, two different franchises, but when the team across the street is doing what they're doing, you got to wake up and start doing something with it. So, I mean, like, being real honest about what's going on with the Angels, I've talked to Jack about this. I've talked to Thomas about this. Like, I've been doing this for a long enough time. This week has a vibe. The last 2 weeks have had a vibe of someone's probably getting fired here. I don't know who it's going to be, but like, this has a vibe of it. And it's the only time I felt this vibe before was when Joe Madden got cut. And even before that, there was something that had like, end of the year when Sosha was on his way out. We kind of knew that one, but like, I'm not saying that Kurt's getting fired this week, and I'm not saying that Perry or anyone underneath is getting fired this week, but it has that vibe. They've been that bad.
They have the worst record in Major League Baseball.
They do. They've been
no.
New
York Mets.
Well, they're tied, aren't they?
No, the Mets have two.
The Mets lost yesterday.
Sorry, worst record in the American League.
There you go.
Yeah. So
if you're gonna come, you better come correct, Zach.
Sorry.
On that note, 3-game series coming up this weekend between the Angels, worst team in the American League, and the Mets, the worst team in baseball.
Tune in, everybody.
Yeah. This is the World Series.
I just I've got my notes here. Last time we talked about the Angels, they had just returned from splitting a series at Yankee Stadium. They honestly could have swept that series. We're going to get into that. Sadly, when they returned, they found out about the passing of Garrett Anderson. We didn't talk about it, guys, and I don't know if you guys want to do a minute or anything on Garrett. I had my article up and talked about it to a degree. I don't know if there's any. I know, Zach, you mentioned it. He was one of your favorite players growing up. Jack, I know that you cared. Like, you've met him. Thomas, you've met him. Great guy. Just awesome, outstanding guy, and it sucks that we lost him.
Yeah, GA was the first player of any sport that I got his name on my jersey. I loved the way that he played, and the only criticism I ever had for him in his entire career was that he never swung at the first pitch. Even if it was
darn.
Even if
it really messed up his career.
I know, but it's like every pitcher walked up like, oh, I could toss this thing straight down the middle, hang a curveball, and he's never going to swing at it. But it didn't matter because he was GA. He was calm, cool, collected. One of the best swings. Just one of the most underrated players of his generation. It's a crime that 16 is not retired. That anybody else was able to wear it after him. No disrespect to Hank Conger, but I remember when they gave him 16 first, and I was like, that shouldn't be happening. Don't win the World Series without him, all that sort of stuff. Just GA was one of the best people in ball, and he'll be missed dearly.
What I like about that, Zach, is you got the baseball player version, and we. Like Jack Thomas and I've got to sit down with Garrett a ton, and it's like, yes, you were an outstanding baseball player, but I love the person that you are, sadly, but like sometimes you forget, like, holy cow, like Garrett Anderson, yeah, maybe he's not in the Hall of Fame, but he was so good as a baseball player. So, Jack Thomas, thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, 2,500 hits is 2,500 hits. That's a lot of hits. Yeah, he was also one of the more consistent players. I mean, you could pencil him in for 35 plus doubles a year every year. And also, if you took his career and put it at Angel Stadium today, how many more home runs would he have off that wall in right field now that the home run line's down? I mean, he could be pushing because he hit 287, I think, off the top of my head.
He was closing in on 300.
I mean, does he have 330 home runs in his career? 340 home runs in his career?
300 plus.
Yeah. So that's, and also, like you said, Zach, just calm, cool, collected. You never saw him. He could be 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts, 4 for 4 with 4 homers, or like that 10 RBI game he had against New York, and you wouldn't know the difference. He did everything so smooth, so effortlessly. It looked like he wasn't trying, but he was just so good. It just looked like he wasn't trying. He was actually trying. Um, and also, I'll just never get over a guy hitting a bases clearing double to take the lead in Game 7 of the World Series, and his facial expression never changes. It
No.
just, yeah. But like you said, Taylor, the human aspect of it, I've been lucky enough to, meet him and talk to him a handful of times over these last couple of years. Super nice guy. Although he's very quiet, he is very approachable. Like he will talk to you. Um,
It's just Garrett.
just Garrett. So yeah, he'll be missed.
Yeah. Yeah. Thomas.
Yeah. Same, you know, calm, cool, collective guy at the plate, calm, cool, collective guy in the streets. See him, just talking to him, regular one-on-one person. Garrett was an awesome person, man. He was Mr. Reliable, Mr. Consistent in, my childhood. When I was watching the Angels as a kid, that's how I remember him. Just did everything, got the job done. One of the better hitters of the 2000s that went under the radar. Um, I was there that day at Angel Stadium, and it was definitely a lot of emotion. A lot of people talked about, just what he meant to them. Joe Dell talked to us, said, that he meant a lot to this organization, and would occasionally talk to him, not too much, but occasionally would. Trout said he would occasionally talk to him too, get some, especially when he was coming up. I think GA would give him some pointers here and there. Felt really sad when we talked to Tim Salmon. That was probably one of the tougher interviews. Salmon talked to us about just never forgets when he rolled up to the spring training site in the 90s. I think it was Gene Autry Plaza or something. Um, and he said he sees him coming out in his like Mustang, and he's like got some like nice stylish clothes, and he was like, "Oh, who do we have here?" Thinking it was like a hotshot kind of guy. Turns out complete opposite dude. But GA, so something I learned, just GA loved his cars, he loved his sneakers. Tim Salmon and him, like they really experienced young adulthood, early 20s to rest of their lives together, got married around the same time, had kids around the same time, just really grew up together. And I know it's just tough on so many people in the Angels organization, even just for life outside of baseball. He was somebody that was there for people. And he's somebody that's definitely going to be missed. And I just remember watching like the scoreboard, and I'm like watching his highlight reel, and I'm like, it almost brought a tear to my eye. I'm just like, damn, like it's one of the better people in
Yeah.
sports. That's the player you want your kid to look up to.
Yeah, we lost a good one. I mean, obviously, I knew Garrett, the baseball player, and knew of his baseball skill set. But like Garrett and I just, whenever we talked about his kids, man. He was just he was a good dad. And that's what I'm gonna remember Garrett is just good husband, good dad, and like yes, also good baseball player on the side. But Garrett was just a good guy. No surprises. I think that someone said that, and I love that as a comment. It's just no surprises. Garrett was just absolutely Garrett, true to himself, true to who he is, and definitely going to miss him. I mean, just those were really fun conversations to have with him in the dugout, and I'm going to miss that a lot. So,
Anderson clears the bases with a double.
it does. It was beautiful. So,
Yeah.
sadly, we have to carry on. We have to talk about baseball. We have to talk about what's going on with the Angels and everything. But after they returned that day from Yankee Stadium, and they did go on to win that night. Though after that, they went and lost. I think it was four straight or five straight. Then they won a game. Then they lost six straight, including being swept through this last road trip to Kansas City and Chicago. I'm just going to date back to the New York series, the Yankees series here. They blew a 2-run lead in the ninth, lost on a walk-off. They blew a 1-run lead in the ninth, walk-off. They blew a tie in the eighth that they lost, blew a 6-run lead that turned into a 3-run lead that was blown in the ninth. That turned into a one-run lead that was blown in the 10th that became a walk-off. They blew a 4-run lead in the 7th. They blew a 9th-run lead, walk-off and extras. This is over the last, how many games is that? I can't, ever since the Yankees series. So what is that? That's
12 games.
Yeah, last 12 games. starting rotation ERA 3.71, 80 innings, 33 earned runs. The bullpen 60 and a third innings, 61 third innings, 48 earned runs, 7.16 ERA. And I know we're talking about easy ERA metrics, but just the problem is pretty specific. Maybe they're not. Maybe one day they're not hitting. Maybe the one day the rotation doesn't do it. But it's been a consistent problem. This bullpen is an issue, a significant issue. I don't know. I gave praise to Kurt Suzuki in our last episode, but the decision making, it's been a blend. It's been a little bit of bad decision making, but also these guys just are not pitching well. And sadly, it's the guys that, I mean, you look at Jordan Romano, got DFA'd at this point. They spent money to go get Jordan Romano in the offseason. He gets DFA'd. Drew Pomeranz has not been good. Drew Pomeranz, big time run limitations the last few years. He's been really bad this year. And some guys are having, like, I think Ryan Zefferjon has been pretty rough. I think he needs to go down and get a reset somewhere in there. But, like Sam Bachman's been consistent. Chase Silseth's been consistent, but they've been getting scrap work more than they have anything important innings. So I don't know. Thomas, Jack, thoughts bullpen wise?
Yeah, it's hard to tell how much of it is decision making for the manager and how much is it just the fact that they don't have a good bullpen.
Yeah.
You mentioned Zefferjon, I'm trying to pull up the numbers and I can't find it, but he's got I saw it on Twitter, someone pointed out he's got a pretty low ERA when he only goes out for one inning, but when he comes back out for a second or whatever, that ERA skyrockets. And I don't know if that's just a mental thing or I don't know if it's fatigue would be a factor there, but I don't know what the issue is there, but that's just what's going on. But yeah, like it's really hard to pinpoint what the exact issue is, whether it's but like I said, it might just be that this is a bad bullpen and it doesn't really matter in the end who you put in to pitch or when you take out your starter. I think the writing's on the wall. It just is what it is.
And like you said, Ryan's got a 5.5 ERA. Drew is flirting with, he's over 9 ERA, and you're talking about enough of a sample at this point. Like you've got guys, Nick Sandlin hasn't been, well, Nick Sandlin's got 5 innings. I mean, he's got, but it's just like, it's 15 ERA. It's rough. But they don't have a guy. And Brent Suter, I'll give Brent Suter his due. He's pitched well, but he's also been the swing man. He's been picking up scrap innings as well to a degree. They don't have a closer. Like, actually, as I look at it right now, I have it in front of me. Angels have 4 saves on the season, and it's Jordan Romano. And I can guarantee you there's at least 3 blown saves in there. Now, that's going to happen when you only have 12 wins, but to not have a guy that's out there, let me see, it's not pulling up either way. To not have a guy that can give you the 9th inning at least, because they don't have guys that can give you the 7th inning or the 8th inning, or they're struggling. So I just, like you said, Jack, I don't know how much of this is on Kurt, and I don't know how much of it is on Perry, who just didn't build a good bullpen. I don't know. So Thomas, your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Kurt Taylor, you and I talked about the other night. Kurt Suzuki's in a just terrible position right now.
Well, it's a tryout. I mean, we all know.
Yeah,
right?
it definitely is, and it's unfortunate for him because I mean it was predictable at the start of the year. We all said the bullpen looked flawed. It looked like one of their biggest weaknesses, and it's already showing early on. I mean, you talked about they were very close to sweeping the Yankees. Since that series, the Yankees are 20-10 or something right now. Best team in the American League. They're 10-2 since they played the Angels, and the Angels are 2-11, 1. So I mean, and a lot of that's been faulted on the bullpen just because of how bad they've been. There's been, I mean, giving up 7-0 leads with nobody out.
Like, giving up the 7 runs in the 7th that one day was rough.
Yeah, to the White Sox of all teams too.
Yeah, to the White Sox. And guess who's coming to town on Monday? The bad news White
Chicago.
Sox. Yeah, I mean, it just I have to say it's the bullpen's flawed. The bullpen's flawed. It's not good. Good teams don't do that. Angels look like they actually kind of have a decent team this year, quietly outside of the bullpen. Offense is playing well. Starting pitching has been pretty decent, but I know the offense is leading the league in strikeouts too. So, but they're putting up runs at the end of the day.
I mean, their offense
Outside of
right
Angel
now.
Stadium, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, outside,
Angels,
that's fair.
Angels have a 106 team OPS plus. I mean, like Seanwell
Sure.
has been bad as everyone would say he's been, but he hasn't been good enough. He's a 89 OPS
Yeah.
plus. Joe Adell is running the same 89 OPS plus, which his is more. He's only walked 4 times this year and 140 plate appearances. Like Josh Lowe hasn't been very good. Moncada's okay. Hoppy's been pretty bad. Like, I mean, defensively, he's definitely improved defensively, but like, it's still just not great.
Yeah, but play. Yeah.
I mean, like, you've got like your bench is doing okay. Peraza's hitting and Grissom's hitting,
Yeah,
oddly enough.
but they play in a winnable American League West. That's what's crazy.
Yeah, but
And they're digging themselves into a hole right now. And
you also just can't predict that they're going to have any chance in the West.
Dude.
I mean, like,
no.
yeah, like obviously Jose Soriano, outside of his last outing where he allowed 3 runs in 5 innings, oh dear God, be careful. He had an ERA plus of like 2,000. I mean, he was just insane. He was the best pitcher in baseball for the start of his first. Actually, he still probably is the best pitcher in baseball at this point, statistically. But like, yeah, Kahanowitz has pitched fine. Detmers has pitched fine. Like he's, been league average. Kikuchi's been bad. He's been very bad. I mean,
bad.
He's been rough. And then, like, as much as I'm a prospect guy, like Zach, you were making fun of me for it the other day with the prospect stuff because of Quentin Byfield. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Like Walbert Urana should not be starting big league games right now.
No, he shouldn't.
Like he really should. Like Ryan Johnson shouldn't be starting big league games. George Clausen, I don't think should, like, not today. I mean, like, yes, next year after. I don't know about Urana, but like,
I mean,
like,
Clausen was brought up too early.
George Clausen should not be starting big league games.
Yeah, he shouldn't have already been starting in the first homestand of the season.
No, like Sam Aldegheri, sure, whatever. Sam Aldegheri's at the point where you have to see what you've got, but like, honestly, I'd start looking at getting Chase Soseth back into throwing some innings. But I know. I mean, Jack, same reaction. It's like this team just wasn't built to be anything more than what they are. At least at this point. Like we said, they built up to this year. It just didn't work.
Yeah. And back to the offense, where I mentioned they don't hit at Angel Stadium. On the road this year, they're hitting 249 on the road with a 787 OPS and a 121 rated runs created plus. That's second best in baseball. Now, if you switch that to home, that turns into if my computer loads, a 212 batting average with good Lord. Fangraphs, work with me here. Here we go. 627 OPS at home, 75 weighted runs created plus at home. Second worst only to the Red Sox. So they are just not hitting at home at all. So I know, like, I did some digging because on StatCast they have the ballpark factors, and the Angels ballpark factor is the lowest it's been in like recorded history. Obviously, only a month in, so it's got time to even out. But the biggest thing it says is weather-induced environment, but it doesn't specify what that weather is. So I went looking through weather patterns in April, and I found out that this has been a windier April than in years past in SoCal. And where the wind blows in SoCal, it blows from was it northeast to the southwest? So
it blows in at Angel Stadium.
Yes, I was gonna say which blowing directly into Angel Stadium. So that could be it. So maybe when the summer gets going, maybe the bats heat up at home. But yeah,
there you go, weatherman.
No, well, Jack is hinting at an
Yeah,
upcoming story. He's
Yeah.
hinting at something that's going to be coming to the Sporting
Yeah,
Tribune very soon.
I got that.
So, and yes,
I'm invested.
no, it's an interesting thing, and I don't know. I just there's not a lot to talk about when it comes to the Angels. I love that. Like that's the thing, Jack. I'm waiting for the story. I'm really excited for the story, but like, there's just not a lot to talk about when it comes to these guys. Oh no, it's not a dead end. It's not a dead end. I got the chat right in front of me. It's not a dead end. We're gonna cheat the story, Jack.
Cheat.
You
Yeah,
get to,
that's a great way
I'm
to put
pulling
it.
back the curtain here, guys. Jack ran into a little bit of a turbulent storm in his story about the storms and the wind. He got a little turbulence on this flight.
Wow.
Well, we're gonna correct it. So,
Yeah.
You gonna
either
go
way,
out to Lake
it's just-
Elsinore for that one?
yeah.
Was it smoother flying to Edmonton, Zach, or is Jack's story more
Going
turbulent?
over the Canadian Rockies is no joke, but
Oh, dude,
The Rockies are pretty
landing in
scary,
Denver.
man.
Landing in Denver.
Oh.
landing in Denver's
you
tough.
you get close to God real quick.
Nah, taking off in Denver.
Yes. Flying out of Omaha is not fun either. So,
Yeah.
either way, guy, I have a feel like we talked about. Okay, let's do a full reversal.
Sure.
2 years ago or a year ago, us talking about the Anaheim Ducks, we were finding stuff to talk about. It wasn't great. Ducks were pretty bad. I mean, we were sneaking some story. This Angels team is going in a reverse order at this point. This is going to be a rough season. It's going to be a very rough season. So, rough season right into a lockout. Woohoo! You guys ready?
Maybe Angels fans need a break from baseball. Maybe the lockout will be good for them.
I think this lockout would be very good for Anaheim. So, anything else to touch on when it comes to the Angels guys? Like I said, we just don't have a lot. I mean, they've been bad, and outside of talking about the bullpen ad nauseum, they've just been bad and not going to win games. I don't know if I still none of us said that this would be a 100-loss team, right? None of us said 100.
I said 99.
Okay, and I think you were the low. I mean,
I
was the
may have
lowest.
98.
I was
like
the lowest.
if the bar
I think
of this
Jack
is
was 2 games ahead of me.
if the bar of this season is hey, I still hope that they are the franchise that still hasn't lost 100 games. It's the bar that we're kind of setting up for. So, I don't know. Busy week. They got the Mets coming to town, who have been equally as bad, but they've also been a little bit more transparent about about their badness. I mean, Stearns has talked to the media. Mendoza is not on the chopping block yet. I use that with a lot of leniency. But yeah, I mean, you got 2 bad teams playing in Anaheim.
On pace for 101 losses, the Angels
I
are, by the way.
know.
You mentioned it earlier, Taylor, and because he is on just a 1-year deal, is there any chance that Kurt gets fired mid-season at all?
Absolutely.
Yeah, but like, what's the point?
Yeah,
that's what I'm
No,
asking,
I get what you're saying.
I think this is purely my opinion. I think even with how bad the season is going, it's very clear that Kurt Suzuki is a player's manager. He has the backs of his players. So I think there would be more value in keeping him for the year, even if it's going really bad, just because he will be able to make the guys not miserable to show up to the field every single day amidst a lost season.
Does he feel out of his depth at all to you? Like in handling the bullpen or?
No, because they've surrounded him with a very experienced staff that he's able to ask questions and to kind of lean on in certain situations. So it's not like again, this is my personal opinion. I don't think every decision is Kurt Suzuki's decision in a sense. I think there's some instances where Suzuki asks so and so, "Hey,
no, it comes
what
from
do
the
you
watch."
think?" Oh,
I bet his watch is telling. I'm not saying no. We're
No.
fine on time. I bet it's his watch that's telling him.
no,
Or
I don't think it's that. I don't
No?
think it's the watch. No, I think it's.
You think it's Gibby?
I think he asked whoever the coach, like, was it Gibbons or
Gibbons, Brady
Maddox,
Anderson,
Maddox, asking any of those guys, "Hey, I'm thinking about this. What do you think?" And then
that's
they
what-
come to a joint decision.
and
That's my
what I think.
my opinion.
No, I agree, and that's why I think this is.
I'm on that vibe.
I think this is
I
just a
get
bad
it.
team.
Yes,
I think the coaching staff is actually like impressive. I think Brady's
Coaching
impressive.
staff's quietly
Yeah.
done well.
well, and okay, how many different coaching staffs have the Angels had over the last 12 years? And
lot.
how many playoff appearances do they have? And how many GMs have they had in the last 12 years? And how many playoff appearances do they have? Maybe they're
Yeah.
just a bad team.
That's it.
It's
No,
ran poorly.
right. No, and that's so Zach, I hope that answers your question. Is like
Yeah.
Kurt, I think Kurt's okay, and that's like it's a tryout for him. It's a tryout for a job somewhere else, and maybe it's a tryout for here. I don't know. Who knows? But no,
He's doing fine. It's
he's
just
doing okay. Yeah,
some of his mistakes, sure, but he's having mistakes that first year managers have, especially a month into the season.
You guys ready to all wear Angels jerseys and eat crow when they win the AL West? No,
When they beat the Dodgers in the World Series.
Yeah, right.
Saying?
Yeah.
They won their Dodgers World Series last year when they swept them. Like that's the best you can hope for.
Anything else
Get
to
a
the
shot
baseball
at
side
in
here?
2 weeks.
Anything else to the baseball side here, guys?
I just cannot wait to watch Angels Mets. That's going to be just exhilarating
You're
baseball.
dude, Jack. Every time you've gone to the
I
stadium,
don't
you've had
know.
something fun. You get the Joe Adele game, and you get a fight. Come on.
I know.
Mets is probably more entertaining than White Sox.
I'm more curious on the Met side of things. Like, what's going on with Mrs. Met? Like, there's some stuff going on there.
she's been hanging around Dinger too much in
That's
Colorado.
what I hear. That's what I hear. Yeah.
That's what we're doing, huh?
We're at that point of
Trouble-
the Angels season, Taylor.
Dude,
Trouble in
we're at the
Paradise.
1/5 mark. Tonight is the 20% mark. We're at 1/5 of the season.
They took too much inspiration from the New England Patriots.
That one flew over.
Diana Rossini,
no.
Mike Vrabel.
We don't need to go there.
That has nothing. The Angels don't have. Oh, you're talking about Mr. Met and
Mrs. Met.
Mets.
Yeah.
Mrs. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, that's nothing to do with the Angels, dude. There's no issues there at all. Like, don't put
There's
that
still
on.
130 games left. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah. 130 tonight, man.
Ugh.
It's gonna be a rough
Might
year.
be. It's like what? No, it is 130.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what's gonna be really fun though? The draft lottery.
That's what we're all waiting for.
Cannot wait for the draft lottery at the end of the year.
This is the
Number
first
one
time I don't
market.
have to, or we don't have to worry about the draft lottery. Does not pertain to the Ducks.
Oh yeah. Right. I was like, this is the year you really have to worry about the draft lottery. No, I get you.
Oh, you're talking about the
MLB draft
baseball.
lottery. MLB
Well, that's not
draft
until the
lottery.
winter, so
No, it's
we got time.
It's gonna be locked out anyways. I mean, it'll happen, but either way,
Yeah.
it'll be. All right, guys. Outside of Zach forcing Jack into a really awkward handshake on his podcast, or not his walk and talk.
What?
Let's close it. You didn't see that last night, Tom?
No,
I
I'll watch it. I'll look it up.
Well,
I
it's pretty fun.
offered my hand to Jack, and he was just like, "Yeah."
well, he
That's
goes,
it.
well, I
It's
didn't
over.
I didn't see like the handshake. I just saw that's it. So I thought he was just pointing at me at first, and then I was like,
Loved
oh,
it.
it's a handshake. The handshake line,
Yeah.
yeah, hockey. It was also
You
1
gotta
a.m.
dap them up. Dap up
It
your
was also
boy.
1 a.m.
So
and
on
I had
that
been up
note
since
here-
5 a.m. So
On that note,
It was a long
Zachary.
day.
Zachary. Yeah. The handshake
handshakes
to
to
Edmonton.
everybody.
Handshake to Edmonton. What's the weekend got entail, guys?
It's been
What do we
so
got for
long
the
since I saw those in person. It's so good.
I know. What do we got for the weekend? Thomas Murray, what are you doing?
Yeah. I'm doing your favorite thing. I've got a birthday this weekend.
Oh my God, dude, this guy's got a birthday every week.
Yeah. So it's my 2-year-old niece's birthday, so we're gonna take her to Disneyland.
Nice.
Yeah, on Sunday. So
During
that's
the
what I got.
season of the Force, Star Wars stuff
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah, they just changed Galaxy's
that's-
Edge up.
They put all the original trilogy stuff in there. Yeah.
Is that
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
May the 4th be with you?
Yeah,
Very-
and
that's Monday,
Mandalorian
yeah.
comes out at the end of the month, so buy an AMC Movie Pass, Taylor, and you can watch what Zach and
Dude,
I.
I heard the new Star Wars is garbage. I'm not gonna bother with that.
No,
Yeah.
Mandalorian's
Wow. This is a
awesome.
Mandalorian.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's Pedro Pascal, right? That's
Yeah.
I'll jump on that train. I'll jump on that. Jack James, what do you got going on? And you're at Angel Stadium at least the next 2 days.
yeah, Angel Stadium Friday night and Saturday night. Working my other job Saturday morning, so I got double duty on Saturday,
Hmm.
and then Sunday TBD. I don't know.
Attaboy. Zach Cavanagh, do we know? We don't
Hopefully
know
sleeping.
what you get.
Hopefully sleeping.
He's probably flying to Vegas on Sunday or something.
Maybe. I mean, it all depends on what happens tonight with Vegas, Utah. But I'm taking some well-earned time to sit around. Like I'm sure the Ducks will be back at practice on Saturday. But no game coverage for a minute. I can stay at home for longer than a week, which is something I haven't done in like a month
Oh,
plus.
can we give you a congrats?
Yeah, sure.
Congratulations to the newly engaged Zach Cavanagh.
Oh yeah. That's
He
right.
liked
Congrats,
it. He put a
baby.
ring on it.
Yeah, it's ring season for everybody in Anaheim.
Oh, hoo-hoo. All right.
Just not
Yeah.
the other team across the freeway.
Maybe, yeah, maybe.
Well, that's Los Angeles, Jack.
That's
maybe
true. That
not
is true.
South. Oh yeah, the Los Angeles part of Anaheim.
Hey, I mean, like,
Just Anaheim.
not to put the pressure on anybody, but I know that Zach is gonna have a ring soon. I have a ring soon. I'm looking at two guys that been dating their girlfriends for a little while here.
That's right. If you do it in
Just
under
say-
10, you got. I set a bar at 10 years, so
There you go.
You can whatever's lower
perfect.
than that.
I'll be
Yeah.
halfway there once August hits. So
There you go.
Well,
I'll be at 6 in October.
Yeah, you got time.
I got time.
Plenty of
Right.
time.
How
Although
long did you
it-
take, Taylor?
Sneaks up on
what's
you.
that?
How long did you take?
Not that long.
Okay.
No, it was God, we dated 3 years,
Wow.
Oh, that's
3
not
years,
bad.
something like that.
That's pretty
Yeah.
good.
Our first date was Yasiel Puig's debut. So okay, I can tell you exactly. Our first date was Yasiel Puig's MLB debut, which was June 3rd, 2013. We got married November 4th, 2017. So was that 3.5 years?
That's how we as sports writers make sure to remember our anniversaries.
Exactly.
Oh, that was the
Yeah. That was a Pavel Bure jersey retirement night, right?
yeah.
So, well, that's the thing. The nice thing is I know that Lahaina watches. I know that Alex watches. Rebecca doesn't watch the Wings I Katella. So, Jack, you're
No.
off the hook.
I'm
You're
off
off
the
the
hook.
hook completely.
Yeah.
But Lahaina's going to watch this. So
Yeah, not a lot of sports watching going
Maybe.
on.
Maybe
No.
she'll watch.
Heidi doesn't watch this.
I'll
but
show her.
Heidi doesn't watch this, but I know she knows what we talk about on this show. So,
Lahaina just sees me edit and is like,
yeah, that's
and
fair.
I'll show her a funny bit, but I'll show her this one.
That's fair. Let me see. Tonight is a big coin flip night. This is date weekend for me, kind of thing, guys. So speaking of married stuff and everything, tonight I am either gonna go do a college baseball game, or and gonna find out in like the next hour. I'm gonna go see Boys Like Girls. If you remember that.
Oh,
band
yeah.
from the 2000s.
Like the Mike Flora game 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. No. So yeah, it's I am coin flip. Well, not necessarily coin flipping. I'm waiting for the text to find out what I'm doing tonight, and then tomorrow, funeral. Sadly, good friend and all that, and then Sunday. Sunday is date day. I'm gonna go see The Devil Wears Prada 2. So,
Nice.
Attaboy.
yeah,
I should probably put that on my schedule for the weekend too.
Yeah, it's I don't know.
No, Devil Wears Prada is good.
Dude, it's my mom. Okay,
You stop.
It's a good movie.
it's
I
my
liked it.
mom. It was my mom's favorite movie. I've got about 4 DVD copies of the original. If you want a DVD copy,
Oh,
because
it's streaming. I could find it, Grandpa.
it's okay.
Thank you.
It's not a preferred movie.
Wow.
Jack, Devil Wears Prada is a movie. Movie is a cinematic experience. You go to a theater or you sit at home, watch it on your television. If you don't know what the television is, it's what you watch
Oh,
sports on.
I was gonna
sometimes.
say I know sports. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
Wait,
they got
Taylor.
sports on the TV. I
Yeah.
know TV.
Yeah.
Taylor,
Yeah, he's like a
you,
dog.
you like
just
you like the Devil Wears Prada?
Devil Wears Prada is fine. It's okay.
Name
Whatever.
3 of their songs.
Oh, dang, that was a band, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's a
Ooh.
band.
Ooh,
I don't listen to them, but
I don't either, but I'm a cheat. I'm gonna
Lion
cheat.
Eyes.
Sacrifice, Chemical, and Born to Lose. That's Des Moines, but with a Z on the instead of an S on Des Moines. So that sounds very much like a band called or a song from a band, Devil Wears Prada. So,
Really, Taylor?
oh,
Florals for spring, groundbreaking.
nice. That reference clears.
How long have we been doing this podcast? 2 hours.
About 2 hours.
Yeah.
let's
Yeah,
we're
let's
running.
go.
by-
We're running.
by
Let's
all-
get out of here, guys.
Hour
Oh,
49.
By
One
all
last
means,
thing, one
move at a
last thing.
glacial pace.
I want one last thing.
All right, hurry up.
One last thing. Because Boys Like Girls has a song called The Great Divide, Thomas,
What?
Noah Khan, Great Divide. What do you think, man?
Oh, dude.
Quick
10 out of 10
quick hit
album.
album review.
10 out of 10 album. Favorite. What was my favorite song? I
Gotta work on that. I gotta get a favorite album.
Haircut. That was my favorite song.
It's not bad. Are you guys Zach, Noah Khan fans at all?
No, I just don't listen to him. I don't. It's not that I don't like his music. I just never.
I get you.
I know that the NHL players are big into Noah Khan. Yeah.
He's very
not
New England. Very New
Yeah.
England. So
Yeah.
favorite songs?
Like
Dashboard, big fan, and American Cars, I liked a lot. And it's not as good as
Okay.
Stick Season, but it's good. I'll give it like a 8.5, 9 out of 10.
Do you
It's solid.
you don't like Dan?
It's okay. Dan's fine.
Dan's
what's the
really
one where he's
sad
singing
song.
about he sings about the Tesla trucks? That one's pretty fun.
Oh, yeah.
Cybertrucks.
All right. Yeah, Cybertrucks. He's like, if I see one more Cybertruck, I'm gonna floor it. He's so pissed off.
Did you see
Funny.
the Cyberduck?
Cyberduck? Oh, I did.
Yes.
All right, let's get out of here, guys. That is Thomas Murray. You guys can follow him on socials at Thomas_L_Murray. That's Jack Janes. You can follow him at Jack Janes_. That is Zach Cavanagh. You can follow him at ZACHCAV, Zach Cav. You can find me at Taylor Blake Ward. Let's get out of here. Go away. Okay, have a good weekend. Bye.
Don't be ridiculous, Andrea. Everybody wants this.